JJ's got the keys to the blockchain breeze. He's live every day, decode the mazes. JJ's cryptic corner where the coins keep turning. Log in now, the future's burning. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. Pixels glow, charts flow, crypto whispers, secrets show. He cracks the code on this winding road. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic. Tune in, lean back, grab your coffee, hit the track. JJ's live, don't be late. Cryptic wisdom, seal your fate. JJ's cryptic.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. We did it, guys. We made it through the week. Hey, what's going on, guys? Bitcoin currently trading at $95,287.80. We are chilling. Let's go refresh our liquidation heat map and see what we got. Hopefully the internet does not rug the stream today. Happened twice in a row yesterday. And I called and I went like probably 50% Karen, and they're sending me new hardware, which is good because my hardware is ancient, so it's probably throttling or bottlenecking my speed for sure. We've got 95,756. What's going on, Seed? What's going on, Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn? I forgot what I said. 95,756. 95,756. And then the tippy top. This is probably going to be the range that we're going to be stuck in all weekend. 97,255. And the bippity boppity bottom, we've got 94,393. And the very bottom of the bottom, we have 92,553. Here we are. So let's see if we continue. I don't mind this range, but it's going to suck if we're here all weekend. So let's see if we get maybe a weekend pump. That way we can dump on Monday. That's always exciting. As of right now, Bitcoin 95, 295, and 79 cents. We're holding above 95, which is ideal. We did reject the 50-week exponential moving average, which we talked about yesterday. We were kind of expecting this. To break through that on the first trade would have been very impressive, but I just don't think that Bitcoin has the strength or volume right now. What looks good is we are gradually climbing up, even if you go all the way back here. Ignore the yellow trend line, which is clearly a trend line. You got a bottom. You got a bottom, and it's, the bottoms are getting smaller, which is cool because it's consolidating. It's going to pop to the upside, I'm sure, at some point, unless it pops to the downside, which is also possible. But we'll see what happens. What's really interesting is you can see probably every single weekend. Yep, Saturday, Sunday. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Saturday, Sunday. Wow. You can literally just see that in the volume. Whew. But we're grinding up. We started off this pattern, basically, in November, down at 82K. It's been December, January, 2 months, which is 60 days, which is nice. if you go off of October being the top, the Pico top, which it technically was, then we are 3 months into it, November, December, January, and we got 9 months to go if you believe that we're in the middle of a 12-month long typical bear market coming out of a proper bull market. We did get a bearish cross over the moving average on the RSI on Thursday. That was yesterday. So we'll see what happens. Maybe this becomes a flag. As of right now, it's just a descending channel, but if we get some kind of consolidation, then that could just as easily become a flag, which should be bullish if it does form that pattern. That is just fantasy at the moment now. We do have negative money flow, green dot on the momentum wave, pointing to the upside, and we are technically just bounced off of the 50 on the RSI. So we'll see where that takes us. ETH currently down 0.18% on the day since the daily close, which is not too long ago. Currently trading at $3,290.48. We rejected 33.66, which we figured that was going to be some kind of opposition, some kind of situation. So we're not too surprised at that. And I do like this. It kind of seems like consolidation to me. Your volume's fallen off, which is not great, but the consolidation in price is good. You could probably make an argument that this is a cup and handle that broke out and is retesting. And then in that case, ETH is probably going to fly. That would be pretty cool. But we'll have to, wait for the signals, the confirmations and all that stuff. Bearish crossover the moving average and the RSI between Wednesday and Thursday, much like Bitcoin, topped off and consolidating, getting that RSI reset. So what I would look for is this confirmation as support and then a break of 33.66 before I, went into a trade. But I'm not a financial advisor. Solana has been stronger than Bitcoin and ETH in my opinion, and I'm not sure why. It's got a similar setup to ETH. You could argue that this is the cup, that's the handle, this is your breakout, retest, confirmation, continuation. It's just happening on an accelerated timeline, I would say. We got above our neckline back here and our upper trend line back here. Both of those patterns, since I didn't show, or both of those lines, are related to this overarching pattern. And these lines really only pertain to back here, but we've extended them, and they have actually played out more than once, multiple times. And the purple line is really important because the purple line pertains to this legacy inverse head and shoulder textbook. Beautiful breakout, rejection of that upper trend line, support at the neckline, and that led to new all-time highs. So that purple trend line is very important. We've been keeping an eye on that, and it's come in handy. And we broke above it. And then we used that support from the retest to break above the blue line. We got break, retest, confirmation, continuation, struggle, struggle, break, retest, confirmation, continuation. So it looks good. Teacher said, yo, what happened working late today? I'm just chilling. I didn't get home until after the daily close would have happened, so let's take my time getting all the stuff ready for the stream. We do have a confirmed red dot on Wednesday. Happened at the Pico top. So the downside is playing out as we speak. RSI did just get a bullish crossover the moving average, which is interesting. We'll see if that stays that way and continues to the upside. That would be pretty cool. Volume probably going to fall off for the weekend. Happens every single weekend. But our momentum wave is smack dab in the middle. Money flow just flipped negative. We'll see if it stays that way. But green dot, I don't know. It's about 50-50, bullish, bearish, as far as the signals go. Or indicators, whatever you want to call them. Total 3, down 0.22% on the day, trading at 888. 8's my favorite number, so I like 888. We are bouncing off of 883, it seems, which is awesome. Our RSI looks like it's rejecting that moving average, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I talked about it before. We're probably going to pull back to the yellow line around 866 maybe. And with that, our RSI will have reset very nicely versus when it, like, let's see, 866 back here. I'm going to call it right here. Look at the RSI is overbought. Last time it was at 866. So we're resetting. We're going to hit 866, and then the RSI is going to be oversold. And we're at the same price level that we were at at the beginning of the month. So it only takes 15-20 days of proper like topping out consolidation to reset that RSI, at least in this case. I'm sure it changes, probably varies from chart to chart. But that'll be nice for a potential continuation, and we'll have the runway once that's cleared up. ADA, down 0.28% on the day, currently trading at 39.44. We got like a double top rejection of 42. 1, 2. And we talked about this pattern a lot yesterday. It's on pretty much every single chart. You can call it a bongo cat. You can call it a Mothman. I kind of call it both depending on the curvature of the head right here. Volume definitely fell off on ADA compared to this first hump. So I'd like to see volume return. I like that we're bouncing off of 38 with conviction, but I guess I need to see more before I'm convinced, because right now it does seem like we're struggling at 38, and if we lose 38, then it's literally going to have been the opposite of this, where we got that led to upside, then this one is going to lead to downside, and we don't want that, because nobody wants that. We like number go up. I think we've made that very clear. Our position on number go is up. So we did get a bullish cross over the moving average on the RSI. We'll see if that plays out. I'm kind of watching that just like Solana. Only difference is Solana has a lot more volume and momentum. Our momentum wave does have a green dot, which triggered a nice pump. Or maybe it was the result of that nice pump. Money flow is negative though. So about 50-50 on indicators for this bad boy as well. SNAC is down 1.29% on the day, currently trading at 0.0009224. We lost our 1/10 of a penny level, and it did what I said I'm worried about ADA doing, where you had, I'm going to call it, Jesus, that got out of hand. I'm going to call it the inverse Mothman, and then the regular Mothman, only momentum just really slowed down, especially on MXC, and it just kind of petered out. You know, there's a hole in the boat, and the boat is sinking. We did enter oversold territory where we got a green dot on our momentum wave and a nice pop in the price. We are struggling to get back above that moving average though. So we're going to have to see some strength show up. The SNEC army is going to have to step in for sure. Otherwise, it's going to get pretty fugly pretty quick. Midnight, down 1.95% on the day, currently trading at 0.062998. And let's see, we're trying to hold 0.064. Broke below, rejected, looking like twice now. It's pretty tight up in here though. So I'm not sure if it's going to have the strength to get back above 64, or if we are going to truly reject it and continue to the downside. Pretty hefty retrace. It had a nice run. So pullback is expected. The volume significantly decreasing with this pullback though. So I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen here. We did get a bullish cross over the moving average in the RSI, where we are seemingly going to bounce, maybe. And I mean, at the end of the day, no matter what, this looks very, very much like a consolidation. And you do have bullish dip. So that's something for sure. You got an unconfirmed green dot on market side for red dot on the momentum wave as we speak. Point at the downside. We'll see what plays out. XRP down 0.59% on the day, currently trading at 2.0556. Having trouble getting above 2.06. Let's see. This is kind of similar to what happened with SNEC, where you got what I'm going to call the inverse Mothman again, and then the regular one, and your volume momentum just kind of petered out. So you didn't even complete like that right hump on the same size, same momentum, same volume. It seems like money left and it didn't return. That's what I'm going to say. So, I don't know if... when I see patterns like this where they kind of just repeat across the chart, it definitely seems to me like PvP, or maybe even... I don't know, what do you call it? PVS? Player versus self? Where people buy... Let's say they like buy right here, and the price pumps, they're like, yay, and then it gets down here, and then they sell. And they still have a profit, but it's a very small profit, so they're kind of screwing themselves. 5.9% big whoop, because they didn't have the confidence to sell back here, and now they're nervous. They don't have the confidence to hold through a possible downtrend. I don't know. That's just what it seems like to me. And then those people don't return. H-bar down 0.41% on the day, currently trading at 0.11813. H bar actually looks like it's holding 11.5 really good. H bar's pattern looks similar to the XRP one. I guess I like it a little bit better though, because it actually looks like just two separate triangles at this point. There's no weird like repeating, like this looks good down here, this looks like everything else. But then once you get past your, what I'm going to call the neckline right here, it just switches up and it becomes a completely different pattern, which is good. I think that's great. Volume looks really good as well. It's increased substantially compared to that pattern back there. RSI, bullish cross over the moving average in the RSI, so there's potential upside there. It very much just looks like it's consolidating, and maybe we get a little baby hump and then that pops to the upside or to the downside. I don't know. You got a green dot on your momentum wave, put it to the upside. Unconfirmed green dot on market cipher. Money flow is negative, but that's kind of the only bad thing on this chart right now. SWI is down 0.2% on the day. We did pull a fractal on SWI, a idea that maybe it is going to play out this again. So I pulled that, pasted it here, because it looks very similar. We'll see. And then that consolidation would actually correlate with our lines very nicely as well. I don't know if you guys can see it that good. Let me make it less transparent. So the idea is that we continue to reject 185. We lose support at 169, and then 162 acts as very strong support, or even 160 you can call it. And that is our next springboard, which we build momentum on to then eventually hopefully break up to 225. But right now we are consolidating. Same thing with that repeating pattern. RSI got a bullish cross over the moving average. See if that results in further upside or if the fractal plays out itself. I got high confidence in the fractal just because it looks really good right now. So recency bias definitely swaying my feelings, but I'm okay with that. Green dot on the momentum wave pointing to the upside. Money flow did just turn negative, and unconfirmed green dot on market cipher. See if that turns into anything. Ondo up 0.42% on the day. We talked about this being really weak, really bad looking, but I guess the best potential I could see here is a triple bottom. It is like an ascending broadening wedge though, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's just like is there such a thing as like a symmetrical broadening wedge? I don't know, but let's see if we can get back above our 40 cent level. We're at 38.56 right now. Other than that, volume is improving, and we did get a bullish cross over the moving average on the RSI. So maybe there's potential for some short-term upside. Green dot of the momentum wave pointing to the upside as well. Money flow still negative. Aerodrome down 1.41% on the day. See, this one looks good because the patterns are completely different. You got triangle, 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 and then this two triangles. I don't know. It looks better to me when it's different. Volume increased substantially on this half as well, which is why you're not hovering right at the neckline at 50 cents. You're actually at 56 for the bottom. Let's see. Joe Adventure said, JJ, my Ralph call went crazy. I'm sorry, I didn't tell you to buy. Dang. Lunar Entity said, I'll probably see $200 silver in my lifetime. Wild. Let's go take a look at a Ralph on Dex Screener. Ralph Wiggum up 216%. Ooh, dang. Very nice. Yeah, I told you it looked good, man. Holders, I think that like basically doubled or even like 2.5. That's crazy. Transactions. Yeah, there's really nothing much to say about this. You got exponential growth. Your RSI is like weirdly not overbought anymore, which is kind of crazy. Just all it takes is a couple sideways candles and that RSI just flattens or deflates entirely. That's sick. Congratulations. Cheers. I will cheers to that. Cheers to Ralph Wiggum. I'm helping. That's awesome. All right. So yeah, Aerodrome, we're holding 55. Let's see if we can use that as a springboard to get back above 60 and maintain that level above 60. We got a green dot on the momentum wave pointing to the upside. Money flows negative, but the positives outweigh the negatives, and we'll see where we end up. Skip some. Avalanche down 0.07% on the day. We are still holding our levels. And I talked about how our upper trend line of this descending channel and our legacy trend line that goes all the way back to December 2020 are converging perfectly. And look at that. We literally hit the convergence point and formed a perfect reversal candle right here, this little bad boy, and are now continuing to the upside. That would be pretty cool if that was the Pico low, that was the bottom, that was our, I'm going to call it breakout retest, because we got some consolidation beneath it, breakout, retest, confirmation, continuation. I don't know. That'd be pretty cool. We do have a green dot on the momentum wave, point to the upside, negative money flow, volume looks good. RSI potentially about to cross bullish over the moving average. We will see. Chainlink. Chainlink is down 0.36% on the day, currently trading at 1368. Let's see, we've got kind of a rejection at 14, it seems, back here. And I'm going to just call it a secondary rejection, 1420. Couldn't quite get above 14 and maintain it. But we bounced off of 1339. RSI did cross bearish over the moving average on Wednesday, potentially setting up for a bullish cross soon. We do have a green dot in the momentum wave, point to the upside. And money flow did flip negative. Let's see if we hold 1339. That would be ideal. Holding 1339, continuing to eventually break 1441. I don't mind this consolidation either if we just maintain between 1339 and 1441. Worst case, I suppose we could establish 1268 and 1441. It's a pretty big range, though. What is that? That is a 13% range, so you never know, though. JY's Adventure said, thanks, JJ. I had a debate today with someone about taking profits and leaving a moon bag. I never used to do that, but I would be more profitable if I did. If I want to hold Ralph to $1, but I'd be panicky to hold everything I had. What are your thoughts on taking profits and leaving a moon bag? Calvin said, shout out to precious metals, generational investment. How does it compare to Bitcoin over the past 10 years? That's actually a great question. Let's figure that out. Silver, though, down 2.49% on the day. Just insane exponential growth. There's nothing bad that I can say about this. Even right now, even with this uncertainty and the double top potential, you got wicks to the downside, indicative of serious buying pressure. And I believe one of the big bullion mints just changed their prices to like 180 an ounce or something. Like if you want to buy physical coins, it's crazy. Giovanni said, yo, what's going on, Giovanni? Okay, JOS Venture. My thoughts on taking profits and leaving a moon bag. I am never, ever, 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 ever going to fully liquidate a position. Now, a moon bag does not have to be 50%. If you feel comfortable with your profits, you feel comfortable taking a certain amount and leaving a certain amount. You have to figure out what that amount is yourself. Me personally, at the end of the day, let's say we're at like the peak bull run, like euphoria. I have all the money that I want. I'm going to take out probably like 90 to 95%. The other 10 to 5% I'm going to leave untouched. That's going to stay there forever. Unless I'm dying and I need the money. And that's it. That's just me. So you got to figure out what percentage you like, but I love the idea of leaving a moon bag. I think getting rid of everything is crazy. I think the people that come in and they're like, I sold everything. Bitcoin's going to zero. I think those people are psychotic idiots. And that's just my opinion. How I feel. Giovanni said, Ondo unlocks got me so mad. Ondo is effed. Lunar Entity said, yes. That's why I said $200 silver is looking likely. VC's probably loving those unlocks, though, right? Giovanni said $200 silver. Yeah, I don't even know. Did I save the thing with the silver mint? Silver mint price update. Let me see if I can find it. Right here, yep. The U.S. Mint. The United States Mint. Are you ready? Check this out. The U.S. Mint knows the price action that is coming for silver. They just massively raised their prices. 173 for proof and 169 for bullion silver eagles. OMG. Guys, this is real. This is a real thing. This is an actual thing right now on the internet. None of them are available either. Oh my god. At least in the screenshot. Whoa. These kind of misleading posts make silver look desperate for exit liquidity. Yeah, how's it misleading, bro? You crazy ass. Oh, what an idiot. They don't know the difference between like buying physical and spot prices, like melt prices on a chart. Okay. Do. Joe Adventure said I had 100k tokens and hold 20k now. I'm happy with that. If it gets to $1, I make 20k. Thanks for your opinion. I feel the same way. If I sell out everything and it actually goes to $1, I'll feel like an idiot. I am risk-free with profits now. Exactly. So now you have to decide if you're, whatever your 20k is worth. Are you okay with making $10,000 if it gets to $1 and maybe taking 50% off the day? It's completely up to you. Maybe it gets to like, I don't know what it's at right now. Maybe it gets to 50 cents and you have 10k already. I don't know. So obviously times are going to change. Price is going to change. You can make your decision and it can be fluid decision making. You're allowed to change your mind later. Be like, I don't need to wait for 20k. I'm happy with 10k or whatever. And then maybe you take out like 8 and you leave the other 2. That's my thing. The moon bag is there for that purpose, to be a moon bag. All right. Chainlink down 0.51% on the day. 1366. We rejected 1441. We held 1339. I think I talked about this getting above 1441. That would be ideal. Monad down 0.22% on the day. We are seemingly bouncing off of our trend line here, which is good. Let's see if we can get back above 24, 25. That would be awesome. Joe has eventually said, I don't know why that was even a debate. What? I mean, you gotta ask questions, man. Somebody's gotta participate in the chat. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask a question to you guys. Let's see. We're gonna do a poll in the chat. It's Bitcoin versus silver. We are going Bitcoin. We are going silver. We are going both. And we are going neither. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. The race to 100. Who crosses the finish line first? Bitcoin to 100K, silver to $100. Both happen this month, or neither. A correction is coming. All right. JWaz Venture said, people have different opinions and always want to be right with their own points. I asked about Moonbag because someone debated. Oh, yes, that. Yes, that's right. Yeah. I don't know. I always find it funny when people try to impose their opinion, especially when it comes to investing. You're like, oh man, I bought this, and that. Or like, this is what I trade with. And they're like, you're an idiot. That's stupid. You should do my thing. That's because they're like, what's the term? They are not confident. They're self-conscious about their investments or their investment decision. And they're looking through reassurance via some like, I don't know, demasculating debate. Like it's going to make them seem big and strong if you're like, oh, yes, you know what, you're right. I shouldn't buy this. This is dumb and I should do exactly what you do because you're so much smarter and better looking than I am. And your girlfriend didn't leave you because you have a small penis. She left you because you have too much money and you're way too smart. And then they're like, I know. I never understood people being weirdly combative about really anything, to be completely honest. Politics makes sense, but most things are just silly. Giovanni said, I think silver run continues while Bitcoin chops here. That's entirely possible as well. Silver down 2.49% on the day, currently trading at $90.07. Is it going to hold 90? Looking good so far. When it comes to Bitcoin versus silver, silver's at 95 and silver's at 90 and Bitcoin's at 95. Which one breaks 100 first? Or are they both going to break 100 this month? I don't know. I could see it. I think, I don't know, silver's just moving so freakishly fast. I really do think it'll hit 100 before the end of January. We got 15 days left. So, Joe Eisenhower just said they have bigger egos. That's probably a big proponent for sure. And I feel like big egos kind of goes hand in hand with narcissism. But I'm also a YouTuber, so I don't really have room to talk. Yeah, silver looks amazing here. This is, in my opinion, is just some kind of like flag consolidation triangle thing. And the wicks just tell you where everything's going. The U.S. Mint's not going to update their prices to 170, 180, 190. Still sell out and the price stay at $90, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. DXY, 99, 375. Are we going to reject here? It looks like it's really struggling, which is good. I guess my only concern with the DXY is the strength that the dollar is being like basically injected the Trump administration. We might be in trouble with the DXY getting exponential growth essentially. Now that would be good for us as like civilians, but we're not civilians, are we? We are degenerate gamblers, and by degenerate gamblers I mean sophisticated, distinguished investors, of course. So we don't really care about the dollar doing good. We actually care about the dollar doing bad. Because if the dollar does good, then our assets will decrease in value. I will say there's bearish div, but I'm not sure if that really matters on the DXY. MicroStrategy, aka Big B Coffee, did get a little baby back bounce off of 167.47. Is it going to finally wake up and stop dying like a piece of crappy garbage? That would be amazing. 174.22 is the current price. Hopefully it can cross 186.17 and get some relief. I feel bad. Ever since they rebranded to Big B Coffee, they've been getting completely screwed. And I'm pretty sure coffee prices, I don't know, I don't remember. Is coffee high or low? That's like one of the things. Coffee versus US dollar. I think it pumped. Shoot. Yeah, never mind. Coffee's gone up in value. So actually, it's not even Big B Coffee. They tried to be Big B. This is one of their tactics to pump their bags, is rebranding to Big B Coffee because coffee went up in value. This is a bit, by the way. If you guys don't get it, and I'm digging a little too far into it, I'm gonna move on. Nasdaq looking good. 25,524. Let's see. The fractals intact. Yeah, everything's there. I don't know if these are like algorithms or if this is just like psychology that's like instilled in our brains for so long, and after it plays out once, it plays out 1,000 more times, just in like variations. But it really looks like we're playing this out perfectly. What's cool about that is this is probably going to pump on Monday, which is awesome because we like pumps, especially Monday pumps. That's actually not true. False move Monday is a real thing. We've got a slight concern with bearish divergence. You could probably argue that maybe it played out right here. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens down the road. RSI looks good. Struggling to stay above that moving average, but it's very consolidating. Green dot in the momentum wave turned into a red dot. Money flows positive. Again, I don't know if those indicators even matter on the NASDAQ and S&P. S&P looks great. We've got another fractal playing out beautifully. This is the Ass Fractal 3.0, if you guys are not aware. Also, don't forget to smash the like button. It's the button that says like. I think it has a thumbs up, actually. It's a thumbs up button. Really appreciate that. Not a lot of people care about crypto right now. So the few people that do show up, I thoroughly appreciate you guys. And I would very much appreciate it if you guys smash the like button. S&P 500, 69.40. I'm fully expecting this to probably bounce by the end of Monday. Monday is going to bottom out. Tuesday is going to be the bounce. And then February 20th, eventually, we're going to get another bounce. But these little bull curves, I think, are playing out exactly as planned. Lunar Entity said, did you see Tom Lee partnered with Mr. Beast using cash reserves for BMNR on a $200 million partnership? I did, actually. Giovanni said, I love Mr. Beast, I won't lie. Yeah, I think that that's actually huge that a crypto company did that. And we did talk about it, I think, yesterday. I don't know. The whole news segment got ruined because my internet service provider is actually just waste management. The garbage company provides me with internet. Delicious. Okay. I think it's for his app. Let me see. Hold on. Mr. Beast. BMNR, Mr. Beast. We've got planned DeFi Ethereum use. Right here. Tom Lee's Bitmine immersion invests $200 million in YouTube star Mr. Beast's company. Mr. Beast's company. What is the name of the damn company? Beast Industries. Mr. Beast is the most watched creator in the world, largest corporate strategic investor in a company investment framed long-term moonshot tied to Ethereum DeFi and tokenization. Yeah, I'm not sure. They're coming out with an app. Pumping Mr. Beast. Oh, clip bars. Wait, they actually are. What is this? So, why are they doing this? Yeah, Feastables. He points out all that moonshot stuff. Trifecta. Is this in fast forward? Why are they going through it so fast? Are we not allowed to read it? Wait. Lunchly? Didn't they get in trouble? Okay, Tom Lee, Bitmine. Founder of Beast Industries, blah, blah, blah. Cool, we gave this guy money. Like he doesn't have enough. But why? What are you doing with it? Tom Lee, can you explain? Mr. Beast rise to #1. What does that matter? You're just talking about how great Mr. Beast is. Is that what I should do? Is that gonna help my channel? Guys, Mr. Beast is amazing. Every time someone touches his shoulder, they skyrocket to millions of views, and I have touched his shoulder. Now you know. Yeah, I'm not sure. That's... Who knows? We are excited to welcome Tom Lee and Bitmine as new investors. So they're just investors. They just gave them money. JWez Ventures, here's a coin you can buy, JJ. Also listed on Astra and Binance Perps. Mr. Beast, a billionaire, and will continue to grow his net worth, so I guess he's investing in him. I guess so. It's Beast Industries. Look at that. I'm up 3 I'm up 3 viewers. Guys, Mr. Beast is the best. We are full. I've actually invested into Mr. Beast as well. I've invested into him with my time, and I will continue to. Waterfly said, why are you on so late? Because it's Friday. That's why. And also, I was lazy earlier. Lunar Entity said, I thought Tom was insane for a moment, but then I realized he wants to capture the next Robin Hood generation. Ooh, that's a good idea. That's a great idea. Mr. Beast is that guy. He's that foot in the door. He's the shoehorn. That is actually a good idea. JWez said, look at fun, please, JJ. All right, let's take a look at fun really quick. Then we're getting into the news segment. On Coinbase. Oh. On base? Aerodrome? This is a $20 million market cap. Up 5.5% on the day. Fun on Coinbase. I don't usually like new listings that go live like right away. Oh geez, there's 1,000 of them. Which one? Where's the one that just went to Coinbase? I don't know. I think it's too new to judge personally. 4-hour time frame. There's not much to say about the RSI. The growth is nice. Is it going to continue though? $20 million market cap, almost $1 million in liquidity. Holders, okay, that's a contract. That's a contract. These are not, seemingly not buyers. Okay, so that's good. Liquidity providers. I mean, there's no bad signs so far. Football.fun, no crying in the skill-based sports arena. Okay. Okay. There's potential here. Sports. Yeah. I'm usually standoffish though when they list on all the big exchanges at the same time. That's kind of what ICP did and a million other ones, and they're always bad in the long term. But it's football. People like football. Sports betting platform and crypto. Giovanni said fun chart looks good. Yeah, well, when it goes up, it always looks good. What if I said I'm averaged in on Bitminer at 40 share? Clint said I was crazy. I miss Clint. I'm actually a little bummed that he literally just disappeared. So, Calvin said, shout out to those who held Bitcoin over the years. Keep accumulating and stay blessed. Cheers, Calvin. Happy Friday, my friend. Shout out to you for smashing the like button. And then I mentioned shout out to Mr. Beast. All right, news segment. We got a lot of news. We got rugged during the news segment yesterday, so hopefully we don't get rugged during the news segment today. This one kind of made me laugh a little bit, so I figured I'd share. The IRS is effectively unable to audit private equity, venture capital, and real estate investment firms, with audits of these giant enterprises have dropped 80 or 90%. That's pretty crazy. Bitcoin Archive posted Senate to meet with crypto groups tomorrow to restart talks on the Bitcoin and crypto market structure bill. That was yesterday that they posted that. 14 hours ago, Crypto Rover posted U.S. inflation drops to 1.55% now. Powell is trapped. There's room to cut rates without inflation risk. This is on Trueflation. Powell does not look at Trueflation. He does not give a crap about Trueflation, but that does make me giggle a little bit on the inside because everyone insisted, including Powell, that we haven't fully seen the effects of tariffs on inflation, and turns out number go down. Inflation has decreased, so idiot. I'm sorry, I'm in a mood today. Lunar Entity said Bitcoin is having a gold moment. OG holders of gold after 2011's climax were the main sellers in the 2020-2022 period. Fresh holders came in. Now look at the price. Yeah, that's true. There's no retail too. The fact that retail is completely absent makes me feel totally fine about holding. And I've said it 1,000 times. If we are entering the 12-month long bear market, which there's only 9 months remaining, by the way, till October, I'm more than willing to wait. I've waited 4 years. If I have to wait a fifth, what's that matter to me? Oh no, and 20 more percent. Oh no. Who cares? Black shirt host in mood for sure. I'm like fully, I'm just a floating head over here, man. I am fully blacked out today. Okay. I generally ignore Powell. Same guy that said insane printing in 2020 would see one-time price increase. Right. Yeah. Yeah, good job, buddy. Good job. I will say, though, if they continue to cut rates and all this stuff and the economy booms, they will have successfully maneuvered a soft landing. And I would not credit him 100% with that. I would credit the Trump administration with probably 50% of that. Because I think they're about to run it hot for midterms, and we're about to see some cash. What if I said that was cool? All right. Breaking. The Fed will inject $55.3 billion over the next 3 weeks. Starting next Tuesday, they're officially launching one of the biggest quantitative easing programs in U.S. history. Giga bullish for markets. That's pretty sick. I would confirm this before you get too excited. So we'll see what next Tuesday looks like. ProShares filed for a Cardano futures ETF. Pretty cool. Goldman Sachs says it's spending a lot of time on crypto tokenization and stablecoins. Listen, if any of these big banks, if any of you guys want any help with crypto stuff, you know where to find me. I'm a big fan of Mr. Beast, and I love money. Okay. President Trump threatens tariffs on countries that oppose U.S. effort to acquire Greenland. White House says it's highly confident the Supreme Court will rule in favor of President Trump's tariffs. I am also highly confident, so confident, in fact, that I using Kalshi, by the way. Link in the description if you guys want to sign up. We both get $10 when you start placing bets. I bet money that they will rule in favor. So if they don't, then I'm going to lose a little bit of money. But it's fun. It is degenerate gambling at its finest. So treat it that way. Lunar Entity said, I would agree with the soft landing, but their approach to the housing market is sure to end in disaster. It's a fool's game to try and make housing more affordable while protecting market prices. Oh, 100%. I agree. I don't know what the hell they're going to do with that. I've had nothing but respect this whole time for Trump. When it comes, like, he's really doing a good job with this midterm setup to try and buy your vote. He's doing a great job. The only issue that I have is him being like, oh, well, people's houses have increased in value, and we don't want to take that away from them. What are you talking about, bro? They're way too much money right now. It's ridiculous. Waterfly said, I bet they punt and offer no decision. Oh, they might do that for forever. My money might just be locked up for. I didn't do a ton of money. I think I did like $10 or $20 because it's fun. But yeah, they might literally just punt it until Trump's term is up, which would be hilarious. We were supposed to get two huge news this week. We were supposed to get tariff ruling and Clarity Act. They pushed back tariff ruling. They pushed back Clarity Act. There's a theme. The theme is delay, delay, delay. And guess what? They still get their paycheck on Friday. They still get their big fat salary check every month, or however often they get paid bi-weekly. Who knows? It's probably bi-weekly because they're stupid and inefficient. And bi-weekly is also stupid and inefficient. I remember I got paid bi-weekly when it was like my first good paying job. I get paid bi-weekly, and all the memes are true. You literally get paid that first week, you're just filthy rich, and then the next week you're like counting change and returning bottles, like borrowing cash from your from your parents and shit. It's so true. Bitcoin 95,319 and 50 cents. JY's Adventure said Brian Armstrong said the bill was trash. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He wants to protect his interests, and the bank want to protect their interests. I don't know if it might have been the Clarity Act. It might have been something else. Who knows? It's the crypto thing. I'm pretty sure it was the Clarity Act. Lunar Entity said, I would welcome a deflationary period, honestly. We're in a state now where it could be quite healthy for the economy, despite the bear posters saying it would be an 80% drawdown. He said the banks want the worst for crypto. Lunar Entity said something akin to 2001 to 2002 market. Yeah, I think what cracks me up and what makes me think that we're just going to see endless money printing is we went through like 2008, and then a good decade went by, and we get to like 2019, and they're freaking out. They're like, oh my gosh, we don't want to crash. Like, they don't want any negativity to occur at all whatsoever. Like, it's like as soon as you get some semblance of a headache, you take a pill. Like, give me the pill. I need this little baby bit of a headache to go away right now. That's what they're doing with the money printing. They're like, oh, there's a little bit of stress in the market. Print the money right now. So they won't let any, even if it's like a good thing, like the housing market decreasing so that people can buy homes. They don't want it because someone somewhere will lose a little bit of money and they freak out. They can only ever have number go up. And that is why I think we're seeing the stock market explode like this, because they're just printing like crazy. We've reached this, I don't remember the whole thing. It's like strong men create good times create weak men create bad times create strong men. That's the thing. We are in the weak men create bad times thing, because all of these weak men in, I don't know, Wall Street, the Fed, the government, the second anything is like a little, they're like, oh, inflation's up. They're like, oh my God, we have to print money because we don't want the other things, but we're getting inflation too. What are we going to do? We just print more money. We don't care about inflation because we'll just double the amount of money. Inflation's not going to go up 100% this year, so if we double the money, then we'll be fine, right? That's their solution to everything, is print more money. It's crazy. Tom Selleck Scout said, in May, the Fed going to drop the interest rate to 0. buy assets now accordingly. You can already see it in small caps. Exactly. We're going to get the Trump-appointed Fed, and that's February, March, April, May. 4 months. That's all it takes. Just 4 months. And if that's the case, and we do see a bull market there, then everyone screaming from the rooftops that we're in a typical 4-year bull market, and that the 12-month-long bear market is going to be wrong, and I'm going to laugh at them. Waterfly said, I enjoy watching, listening to you kids talk about this. Waterfly is one of them. He's one of the ones that benefited for forever from all the cheap housing and stuff like that. Waterfly witnessed the weak men take over and just turn on the money printer. And he was like, yes, print more. I enjoy that you enjoy it, Waterfly. White House, yep, we read that. U.S. government says it did not and will not sell any Bitcoin. Waterfly's a lizard person. Maybe he'll pump my bags. Waterfly, in case you didn't hear me earlier, I do love Mr. Beast. Lunar Entity said, I won't be sad to see Powell go. Inflation is very painful. It never goes away. He's made his mark. Yeah, a skid mark. JOS Avenger said, especially in these market conditions. Bought his house for 10 raspberries in 19... Okay. OpenAI to begin rolling out ads in ChatGPT. Am I weird for never having... I think I've used ChatGPT like twice. And it was like the free one. And I kind of hated it. I don't know why people like it. I don't know. Why is Mr. Beast? I know it. You should have him like promote my channel. I think that'd be sick, Waterfly. Okay. X announces creators will receive significantly higher payouts. We'll see. Treasury Secretary Bessent says tariffs did not lead to higher inflation. I believe that to be true. Inflation is transitionary. Such an insane concept to promote. Yeah. Treasury Secretary Bessent says it's very unlikely the Supreme Court rules against President Trump's tariffs. Very cool. Waterfly said not personally. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I get you. You're not allowed to let people know. Tom Selleck Goat said it liked it until recently. Think I'm moving to Gemini. Oh my gosh. I've had nothing but like an amazing experience with Gemini. And I use the free, like, I don't know, you get like 5 pro credits a day or something like that. Completely free. I love it. It's amazing. Like if they make me have to pay for it soon, depending on the price, I might actually consider paying for it. Tom Salkscoat said transitory. What did I say? Oh, yes, you are correct. It is transitory. I said transitionary. My bad. Cloudflare went down again, taking down most of the internet and AI. We have a single point of failure. How many times is this going to happen? This is the first time this year, but last year it went down like 5 or 6 times. And this time it literally did take most of the internet with it. Look at this. We've got X, Grok, Verizon, Cloudflare, obviously, OpenAI, AWS. That's kind of hilarious. I don't know when this lesson is going to be learned, or what's causing it. It just continues to happen. On January 20th, the Supreme Court will make comments on 2 cases, but neither are regarding the Trump tariff case. High-profile Trump-related cases are in play this term, including challenges to executive powers, removal of Federal Reserve or FTC officials in cases like Trump v. Cook or similar, argued around January 21st, and tariffs, a major case on Presidential Tariff Authority under IEEPA, has been pending, but no opinion released yet as of mid-January. Speculation points to possible release soon, but not specifically tied to January 20th. So, I think that's the Lisa Cook thing, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe that she is the person who lied, she committed mortgage fraud, and I think that she should be reprimanded for that. At the very least, she should get in a little bit of trouble. That's just my personal opinion. Somebody in the government, a sitting, like, government position, should not be able to commit mortgage fraud. Even if it's something as simple as saying, yes, this is my primary residence, and also that one in the other state is also my primary residence, just to qualify for a lower rate on both residences. You have 2 houses, lady. Just pay the higher rate. You committed mortgage fraud. Now you're going to get in trouble. I don't know. Not a fan. I think she's a dumb bitch. Lunar Entity said OpenAI downtime causes Sam Altman to pucker. That's pretty funny. I like ChatGPT for work purposes. Saves a ton of time replying to email, but I don't. It's not 100% accurate. I saw an article recently that there was an AI that like transcribed a police body cam footage, and in the transcription it stated, and this was like published in like the police paperwork, that the officer transformed into a frog because the audio from the body cam picked up a Disney movie in the background, and they thought that the officer transformed into a frog. So somewhere in the world, there's an AI that is convinced that people can transform into frogs now, which cracks me up. Now imagine that getting like mixed into the ocean of AI, and then a couple hundred years go by, and they're doing research, and they're like, oh, it says here in the mid 2020s, people for a short period of time allegedly transformed into reptiles and amphibians. That's going to be part of our history books. Bitcoin 95, 290, and 34 cents, doing pretty much absolutely nothing. What's going on in that Pulse player? Happy Friday, my friend. Cloudflare is the biggest risk to national security right now. I agree. Russell 2000 versus Bitcoin January 16th. I am not going to lie. I see almost no correlation here. Just the fact that they go up and to the right, but the Russell 2000 is like nice and smooth, and Bitcoin is like, Maybe he's saying it's going to go up from here, but I think that much is obvious no matter what. You know, what did this one took? Years, probably. This is a 15-minute? I don't know. Doesn't seem right to me. Tom Selfscott said our jobs are still safe for now. OpenAI IPO is the top sell we everything. Well, are they going to be able to IPO if Elon wins his case? Because he's like suing them because they said he like invested in them in the early days. I had no idea that any of this was a thing. Apparently Elon gave them a shit ton of money for AI. I just whacked my knuckles on the desk. He gave them a bunch of money to like develop and as a nonprofit, and they were supposed to stay a nonprofit and open source, and they undid all of that. They were like, we're not open source and we are for profit. And he's suing them now. And I think he has a huge case because he's really like, he's tweaking about it on X. He's like, I'm so excited to sue OpenAI. I can't wait to sue them. And it's kind of creepy. Lunar Entities are pretty much going public means they're hitting maturity walls. It'll get ugly. Mortify said, you need to do more research, JJ? What research do I need to do? What do you mean? What did I miss? Marty Party posted, the White House issued this statement today via Kevin Hassett, January 16, 2026, amid anticipation for a potential Supreme Court ruling on the legality of President Trump's tariffs imposed under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. White House Economic Advisor Hassett specifically said he's highly confident the court will uphold the tariffs, citing that the legal analysis is on our side. Lunar Entity said most of the investment offerings to OpenAI were in equity issuances, meaning OpenAI owns a large stake of the Mag 7. Interesting. Waterfly said, I'll share with you on Discord this weekend. Okay. Marty Party, we got a long one from Marty Party. I'm not going to read the whole thing. He thinks the Supreme Court will vote with Trump here under the 1976 National Emergencies Act, NEA. President was right to declare national emergency. This is FUD hanging over the markets. Again, supporting my bias that they're going to rule in favor with Trump, and I'm going to win that stupid Kalshi bet. If you guys sign up with the link in the description, we'll both get $10 when you start trading. Lunar Entity said, so if they panic to meet obligations, it would make sense to see a broad drawdown across the Mag 7. Okay. I hate to say this, but OpenAI definitely seems to be like the golden child of AI right now. And I'm concerned if they go public that it's going to be like NVIDIA 2.0, but like the off-brand. in like the stock market sense, and we are going to see that drawdown that you guys are talking about, because Sam Altman kind of seems like an asshole, and I like Jensen Huang. Jay Razovich said, "Good night, guys. Take it easy, my friend. Happy Friday. Cheers." Marty Party posted, "Stablecoin market cap TA calling for 380 billion next." I really, especially with the exponential growth of stablecoins and adoption, and them being used for more than just crypto things, I think that's going to stop. We're not going to be able to use stablecoin dominance or market cap or anything like that as a metric to measure the growth potential of crypto, because that's going to be like the M2 money supply, which doesn't really correlate right now. Michael Saylor said, "Over the last 2 weeks, we have made 500 million a day. We selling dollar bills for $3. We may be the most profitable company in the U.S. right now." I'm not sure what that means, but that's pretty cool. Saeed said, "Good night, sir." Marty Party posted, "Too many policy items added to the Clarity Act. Each lobby is adding their personal wish lists. We should have never piled all this into one bill. Clarity Act is about classification of blockchain tokens, not treasury yield. 99% of the industry just wants clarity. Let the banks fight over stablecoin yield in their own Genius Act bill amendment. This Clarity Act should have nothing to do with the banks. It is about the SEC, CFTC, and classification of tokens. Thank you for your attention to this matter." I like that. That was snotty at the end. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, "Talking about AI, Render is getting spicy. Let's go take a look. I haven't heard about Render in quite a while. I think we looked at it the other day, but if they're getting spicy, that's exciting." Ooh, they're getting a little spicy. So Render did the thing. This is that pattern that is on every single chart, but it did it completely different, whereas this pattern right here is completely different from that one, which is awesome. And there's exponential growth in between. Instead of going up probably 28%, this thing went up 90, 100%, doubled in price, and it's still up 76% from that low. That's huge. That's crazy. So, not financial advice, but if this is not a buy signal, I don't know what is. Showing strength from the lows, $1.20 up to $2.28. Now, obviously, don't FOMO in at the top. This thing could retrace all the way back down to 160, but the people that bought down here are very, very happy right now. You gotta have conviction, man. Don't just bail on a bag because it's the Dino coin. That's silly. Lunar Entity said, "Well, if OpenAI needs to raise capital to meet debt obligations, they have roughly a 10% stake in almost every OpenAI partner. They wanted equity in the partnership agreements. They have an insane amount of stock to just offload." That sounds like they're going to destroy the entire market. What if I said, "Yes, industry clarity"? Hopefully we get that. MXC announces temporary suspension of services in India while they register with the new regulator, FIUIND, Crypto Cleanse 2026. I loved, with a D, past tense, MXC back in the day, and then they forced KYC to United States users, and now I hate them. They ruined my life. I'm joking, by the way. FTX estate seeks to claw back $27.5 million from Justin Sun, HTX, and Poloniex to maximize next round of distributions March 31st. I don't know what this is about. I feel like whenever something goes bankrupt, the people that step in to like fix it just milk as much as possible, and then they, hand the scraps out to who's left, and then they leave. I feel like it's the most counterproductive thing in the world. But that's just me. Lunar Entity said, "That's why I suggested that if anything kills this market, it will more than likely be the very company that kicked it off in 2023. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, "Yes, I'm very happy I caught the bottom. That's awesome." That's so sick. Bitcoin 95, 332 and 7 cents. I wouldn't mind pumping, but we do know that if we do, we have a CME gap, and the last one got filled beautifully. So don't be surprised if we end up with the same situation this time around as well. The White House comments on President Trump talking about canceling midterm elections. The president was joking. He was speaking facetiously. I love that they have to clarify this now. That's the funniest thing. That they're like, the president mentioned that he was going to do this crazy thing. And they're like, yeah, that was a joke. Calm down. It's not that big of a deal, bro. You need to chill. It's funny. Funny stuff, man. Funny stuff. All right. I accidentally... Here we go. I fixed it. Okay. We're back. U.S. data centers will consume nearly 10% of the entire U.S. power grid by 2030. This is 4 times the percentage seen in China. We need more power immediately. And I do believe that they are doing... What if I said Mr. Beast is awesome, says JJ. Jay Shear said, I need my bags to pump. I'm effing tired of this rat race. Missed y'all. What's going on, Jay Shear? I think that they're doing a emergency power auction or something that I saw with Trump and all of the big data center companies. And he's basically going to make them foot the bill, which they should. Because if I use more electricity, my bill goes up. If, Joe Blow down the street uses more electricity, his bill goes up. My bill would not go up for Joe Blow, and Joe Blow's bill would not go up for mine. So why should our bill increase because these companies are building data centers locally? That's not my problem. So I'm glad something's being done about that. Hopefully it works out in our favor. Kobe SE Litter. U.S. corporate bond downgrades are surging at an alarming pace. 55 billion of corporate bonds were downgraded from investment grade to junk status in 2025, the highest since 2020. At the same time, only 10 billion of upgrades to investment grade were recorded, the lowest in at least 6 years. This means downgrade volumes were 5.5 times higher than upgrades compared to 4.8 times in 2020. By comparison, in 2024, there were only 4 billion in downgrades and 22 billion in upgrades, meaning upgrades outpaced downgrades by 5.5 times. Meanwhile, 63 billion of bonds are now on the brink of junk status, up from 37 billion at the end of 2024. The credit quality of U.S. corporate bonds is deteriorating. That is concerning. What if I said I use solar to offset? Nice. We actually have solar set up at our farm, and it's very nice. My whole life was told that solar was incredibly inefficient, and seeing what 3 little panels can do, I now know that to be a lie. Maybe it was back then, but it's been how long? So, Jay Weisberger just said, extremely difficult market now unless you trade on Solana. Only coins that go up, but very tough to nail them. I didn't go to bed, LOL. I'm looking at Ralph chart. Okay. Lunar Entity said, I have found great success in crypto by buying the things that people hate in areas that make them angry. Yeah. Yeah. Look at XRP. Everybody hated them, and they exploded. They actually outperformed probably the past 24 months, which is freaking hilarious. U.S. existing home sales surged 5.1% month over month in December to an annualized rate of 4.35 million, the highest since March 2023. This marks the 4th consecutive month of growth and the strongest monthly gain since February 2023. However, sales remain 2.51 million, or 37% below the 2020 peak levels. For the full year, there were 4.06 million existing home sales, unchanged from 2024. Meanwhile, the median home sales price rose 0.4% year over year to $405,400, a record high for any December. This also marks the 30th consecutive monthly gain, but the weakest in 2.5 years. The housing market is showing early signs of improvement. Good. Let's see. Jay Wes mentions that people hated Solana at $10. Gourmet Brand said my freaking electric bill was $323. Ridiculous. That is crazy. Jay Wes Adventure said now they all love it, myself included. The founders know what they're doing. They just listed Zora on Solana, and I love Zora. Waterfly said quaint moving. Lunar Entity said yes, they targeted gambling. Makes sense. Okay, let's go take a look at QNT. Quaint. Ooh. So we talked about, what did we talk about? What is this gigantic drawing that I have on here? Consolidation. Yeah, look at that. This thing is in a big, fat consolidation phase, and those usually erupt in exponential growth. I don't know. Maybe that might actually go all the way up here. I'm not gonna draw it though. So on the daily, it looks amazing, super duper condensed, and that condensed price action usually results in a violent move. The direction is to be determined, but volume, volume could be a little bit better. We've had good volume back here. I don't know why I'm drawing with that. We had good volume back here. It's kind of flattened. This is specific to Binance, though, so it's not the end of the world. You got support, 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 and with this lower, you could probably make the argument for a inverse head and shoulder right there. And then your neckline would be a little angle like that. Probably 82, 83. We'll just call it 83. If you break above 83, you're looking good. And you also have some interim resistance right here based on this rejection and this rejection. And then eventually your 101.48. 100 probably going to be more psychological level. But let's see if you can get above 90. You're at 80 right now, nice psychological level. 8's my favorite number, so I like that. Yeah, let's see if you can reach that $83 level. RSI got your bullish cross over the moving average. This is what I always talk about whenever I'm talking about consolidation on the RSI. Look at this, just consolidating right smack dab in the middle, and then it pops. That's awesome. You got a green dot in the momentum wave, point to the upside. Money flows negative, but number go up, evidently. Bitcoin is 95,350 and 27 cents. Lunar Entity said anything that hasn't fallen under the October 10th wick looks nice. Joe has eventually said Quaint have called like XRP. Eventually it will get up there. Lunar Entity said still waiting on the public details of the supposed enterprise product Quaint has been delaying for years, but the chart looks great on higher time frames. It does. That consolidation is very appealing to the eye. President Trump comments on Kevin Hassett, the expected replacement for Fed Chair Powell, and I quote, "You were fantastic on TV today. I actually want to keep you where you are. If I move him, the Fed guys don't talk much. I would lose you. It's a serious concern to me." Absolutely adorable. Little bromance live on TV. We'll see, I suppose, if he picks Hassett or the other guy. I forgot the other Kevin's name. President Trump threatens to impose tariffs on countries who oppose his plan for the U.S. to acquire Greenland. On an official capacity? What is this opposition? Is it just people like from that country? Quaint. What am I saying? Quaint? Quant? Is it quant? I can't. Both of those are quaint to me, Waterfly. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say. I'm from the Midwest, man. Give me a break. I'm kind of retarded. Quant? Is it quant? Like want? Quant. I mean, I say Franco, and it's Franco. So, I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm a Youper at heart, which is pretty much a Canadian. Honorary Canadian. I'm trying my best to sound American right now. The odds of Kevin Hassett becoming the next Fed... Oh, here we go. It is Kevin Warsh, I think. I like Waller. I prefer quaint. It sounds quaint. It does sound quaint. Not quaint. Yes, like want. Quant? Really? I hate that. Quant? Like quantity? I don't like it. I'm not a fan. I prefer quaint. I prefer quaint as well. I'm with Lunar Entity. The odds of Kevin Hassett becoming the next Fed chair crashed to a new low of 16% per Trump, or after Trump tells him, "I want to keep you where you are." The market now sees Kevin Warsh as likely next Fed chair. The degenerate gambler in me wants to go bet on Hassett now. Just because. Like, he really likes the guy. So maybe he's like, well, as long as you promise to talk to me still, maybe that'll happen. I don't know. Okay. President Trump releases a statement on Iran. I greatly respect the fact that all scheduled hangings, which were to take place yesterday, over 800 of them. How much do they have? A budget for this? That's a lot of hangings, bro. They just toss the ropes. They're like, here, hang yourself. That's crazy. Have been canceled by the leadership of Iran. Thank you, Donald J. Trump. What a crazy thing to post on the internet. What if I said you prefer mayo on pizza doesn't make correct? That's true. That's what I'm saying. I'm using the excuse that I exist on a plane of existence that is unfamiliar to the naked eye. We have lead in our water and in the air via bullets. So I don't know what to tell you. Messes with your brain, that stuff. JY's Adventure said maybe it does has something to do with quantity. I never thought about that. That'd be funny if it was. Is it limited? Do they have how much can they print? Let's go see. I'm about to fud your bags. You guys are drawing way too much attention. QNT. What is the capped supply? Oh, it is. Okay, good for them. 81.12% circulating. They do have a max supply of 14.88. You guys want to see something really funny? Ethereum has a max supply of infinity. Isn't that crazy? They can just print as much as they want. Vitalik is like, I need more money. I need more money for my fidget spinners and my cat bags. Print more ETH immediately. I need more money for my rap lessons so that I can rap again on stage at the next convention. Oh man, what a character. Okay. President Trump releases a statement on Iran. Thought on Faraday Room's beanies? What are Faraday Room's beanies? Oh, like the... Honestly? Normally, I would say that it's kind of a meme. Maybe a gimmick. Obviously depends on how much money they're charging you. Pretty sure you can make your own beanie. I will say, there is evidence coming out that Bluetooth is bad for your brain. So like all the earbuds and Bluetooth headphones, all the stuff that's Bluetooth that you literally put on your head is not good, probably. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an expert on like Bluetooth or electromagnetic interference, but I've seen stuff on the interwebs. Who knows if it's true or not? But I'd rather be safe than sorry. Cancer treatment is incredibly expensive and painful, so I like my wired headphones. Lunar Entity said it's a state-sponsored event. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Ethereum hasn't really expanded much since 2021, though. Solana's inflationary expansion has been 5 times as high. JY's Adventure said, but less and less people are using it. Waterfly said he hates ETH. I actually don't hate ETH. I think that they fixed a lot of the issues that they had. I think it's in a really good spot right now. JY's Adventure said ETH needs a centralized exchange like Binance to help them pump the price better. LOL. ETH. So here's my thing though. ETH and Solana both hit all-time highs this past year. So I feel like they're in the same boat. ETH fixed their fees. Like genuinely, they actually did. That's not as good as Solana still, but it's enterprise blockchain. I would call Ethereum enterprise blockchain. I think ETH is going to be used by the businesses, by the institutions, as we call them. And I think Solana is going to be the retail layer. That's my opinion right now. The way that it's laid out right now, if you made me pick which is which, that would be my pick. Yeah, I was gonna say Coinbase and Base, like Ethereum. That's definitely their centralized exchange for sure. Okay. President Trump believes. Yep, I read that. Small caps are on a historic winning streak. The Russell 2000 has outperformed the S&P 500 for 10 consecutive sessions, the longest run since 1990. That's crazy. Over this period, small caps have rallied 7.5%, while large caps have gained 1.3%. As a result, the ratio of Russell 2000 to the S&P 500 has surged 6.7% to 0.39, the highest since December 2024. This comes despite 2-year Treasury yields rising for 9 straight days as investors are pricing in fewer Fed rate cuts in 2026. Historically, small caps underperform large caps when yields rise. They rely more heavily on debt financing. That said, despite the shift, the ratio remains 35% below the 2021 peak. Investors are rotating back into small caps. Number go up. I'm very excited for that rumored liquidity injection starting on Tuesday. I'm curious to see how that affects the market. Cheers, guys. Happy Friday. Ooh, delicious. Lunar Entity said BNB is maintained by owning shares in Binance. Is maintained like owning shares in Binance, whereby the company returns value to shareholders by buying back the stock. Token burns, if you will. BNB is one of the outliers. Nobody really ever talked about it, but it performed incredibly well. Insanely well. Definitely I wouldn't call it an underdog. It was very underrated, I think, for sure. Waterplus said, if your time horizon 5+ years, I believe so. But at first he said, I be icebergs, which is awesome. Okay. Let's see. President Trump said, nobody convinced me to not strike Iran. I convinced myself. He's a strong, independent woman. The silver rush. Retail investors have bought the largest physical-backed silver ETF, SLV, for 169 nice consecutive days, the longest streak on record. Over the last 30 days alone, silver-linked ETFs, SLV, PSLV, and AGQ have attracted a record $921.8 million in inflows. Retail buying activity in silver is now 2.1 times the 3-month moving average. As a result, cumulative retail buying has now surpassed the peaks of 2021 silver squeeze. This has also significantly exceeded activity in gold and crypto funds. Individual investors are piling into silver like never before. This has also significantly exceeded the activity in gold and crypto funds. Individual investors are piling into silver like never before. Also, they made reference to the 2021 silver squeeze. That, in my brain, is a sign that we're probably going to see a repeat of 2021 with much, much more money. Bigger stakes, in my opinion, which is not fact. Might be one day. Investors are buying tech stocks at an accelerating pace. The communication services sector single stock saw a record $2.2 billion in inflows last week. This follows $400 million and minus $2.9 billion in prior weeks, the largest outflow on record. Meanwhile, industrials posted minus $1.5 billion in outflows, the largest since 2018. At the same time, investors withdrew $1.3 billion from financials, marking the 8th weekly sale out of the last 9. Overall, total single stocks saw $2.2 billion in outflows last week. Capital is fleeing everything except big tech. Interesting. Waterfly said, hate Apple typing. Waterfly, I got a good one for you. I finally retired my 2011 MacBook Pro, and I bought a refurbished one off of eBay. And it just so happens the 1 year that I picked is the 1 year where they had a problem. For whatever reason, Apple was like, let's change the way that we architect our freaking keyboard. And I try to type on that thing, and it, like every 4 or 5 letters, it double or triple types that letter. Drives me insane. I have to take it to a genius bar so that the geniuses can fix it, even though they're idiots. I don't know who in their right mind was like, let's fix the not broken keyboard. But they screwed it up. So I agree. I also hate Apple typing. Lunar Entity said Ethereum is structurally different. If Vitalik gets hit Manchurian candidate style, you might see the Ethereum Foundation become the Ethereum company. Waterfly said, Mr. Beast is awesome. May he raise JJ. Good night, people. Take it easy, Waterfly. I appreciate you. Happy Friday, my friend. Good night, and I will see you next time. Cheers. All right, let's see. Market breadth is incredibly strong. All S&P 500 sectors are now trading above their 200-day moving averages for the first time since November 2021. What happened in November 2021, you ask? The bull market. This marks a sharp recovery from April 2024, when no sectors traded above this key technical level. As a result, 68% of the S&P 500 stocks are now above their 200-day moving average, the highest reading since December 2024. Meanwhile, 70% of the New York Stock Exchange stocks are above this threshold for the first time since 2024. Historically, similar breadth surges have preceded S&P 500 average gains of 17% over the following 12 months. This marks the market's rally is broadening. Sometimes JJ no read good. President Trump announces his new Board of Peace, which includes Marco Rubio, Jared Kushner, Steve Witkoff, Tony Blair, Mark Rowan, AJ Banga, and Robert Gabriel. Very cool. Congratulations to all those people. This one was really funny to me because this dude's literally got so much money that he can do this. Gourmet Brands Brooklyn said, "Gotta run. Have a nice weekend. Take it easy, Gourmet Brands Brooklyn. Appreciate you as well. Happy Friday, my friend. Cheers. Enjoy your weekend. I'm sure I'll see you tomorrow." Elon Musk considers buying airline Ryanair and putting someone whose actual name is Ryan in charge after the company taunts him over X being down. I mean, this was pretty funny. X appears to suffer widespread outage across the U.S. Users report problems posting and loading feeds. And then Ryanair said, "Perhaps you need Wi-Fi, Elon Musk," which isn't really a taunt, to be honest. It seems like they're just promoting the fact that they have Wi-Fi on their planes, in my opinion. But he replied and he goes, "Should I buy Ryanair and put someone whose actual name is Ryan in charge?" I don't know if it's petty or if he was genuinely just trying to be funny, but both are hilarious, both options. Lunar Entity said, "After the VIX bottoms out, I fully expect a drawdown period akin to April of last year, not sharp, possibly slow." Have we not been in a not sharp, possibly slow drawdown? Are you talking about stocks? April sucks every year. That is my birth month, and I can tell you right now, every single year. My birthday's great, and then I settle down for the night at the end of the day, and I check the charts, and I'm like, oh, this sucks. Ruins it every time, man. Breaking: X announces they will be giving $1 million to the author of the top article on the platform in the next payout period on January 30th. That's pretty cool. This one's crazy. I wanted to bring attention to this because it goes back to our research, our in-depth research of compound trading. This guy compound traded $12 to $104,000 over the course of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 trades. I think doubling thereabouts each trade since November. He started in November and went all the way to January 15th. He won a trade going from $12. He made 100% to $24. And then 24, he made 86% or 66%. You guys can go check it out if you want. Cointelegraph posted it. It's really cool. Basically, over that, couple month period, he just doubled his money essentially on every single trade. Sometimes more, sometimes less. And ended up with $104,000. I will say, if I started with $12 and I got to here, where I went from $5K to $7K, I'd probably call it quits. I'd probably take my profits and start over at $12 again. That's just me. Google Play to block unregistered overseas crypto exchange and wallet apps in South Korea without VASP registration. Aster launches its Human versus AI Trading Battle Season 2, funding 70 human traders with $10K each to compete against 30 AI traders. Now, this is the same competition that we got the update on when it ended, where they had a secret model, and that secret model was the only profitable one, and it was actually Grok 4.2. Every other AI, including Grok 4.1, had lost money trading. Grok 4.2 allegedly is the only profitable trader according to this contest, which is pretty cool. So I'm excited for that to come out whenever the hell it comes out. Crypto Fear and Greed Index drops 12 points to neutral at 49, down from 61 yesterday. Let's go check what it is today. It is at 50, literally smack dab in the middle. Last week we got 25. I wonder what this week is going to register as when it finally completes. The coin market cap Fear and Greed is, oops, also at 50. Interesting. Very, very interesting. When did this get all messed up? That's annoying. I'll fix that later. So we're at 50. Last week, we were at 40. Last month, 25. All right, we'll see what we end up with. Guys, don't forget to subscribe. Appreciate you guys for being here. Okay. Kaito founder Yuhu says the team had no prior knowledge of X's policy shift. Kaito Studio becomes a core platform in 2026. For full context for the time, I'm assuming that this is a one of the oh shoot, I forget what it's called. The SocialFi platforms that got affected from X no longer allowing their API to be like rented out for Interact to earn via X posts and stuff like that. Yeah, we received legal notice from X and issues our legal response the same day, asking for clarification over a call. Yeah, yep. CME plans to move crypto futures and options to 24/7 on-screen trading per its latest frequently asked questions. That's pretty sick. Let's see. Lunar Entity said stocks. Bitcoin had its wipeout. Okay, I like that. I will take it. Coinbase has reportedly begun offering stock trading to select users as it moves towards an all-in-one investment platform. I will say, I'm on Robinhood right now for my stocks. If Coinbase adds that, I will primarily use Coinbase because I don't like Robinhood. After what happened with the GameStop saga, I think Robinhood and Citadel can suck a fat one, as Derek from Stranger Things would say. Update: XRP leads South Korea in 2025 trading volume with over 1 trillion processed on Upbit. That's crazy. That's a lot of money. Bitcoin analyst Willy Woo says Bitcoin's near-term future is bright. Clarity Act may have a nasty surprise for XRP holders. Interesting. Trade secrets via Cointelegraph magazine. A global outage at Cloudflare is causing widespread access issues for websites and apps worldwide, impacting multiple services at once. That's crazy. Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon says the firm is exploring tokenization and prediction markets amid evolving U.S. regulation. Hell yeah. A solo miner successfully mined Bitcoin block 932373 and earned about $305,000 in rewards. That's pretty sick. Could you imagine, like you're a solo miner and you just make 300K just like that? You're like, whoa. Like imagine you check your, I don't even know how it goes. You just like maintain it every day and whatever, and you check your wallet once a week because you're like, man, I'm not gonna win anything. And then you check that, and then there's suddenly $300,000 there. You're like, whoa, that's probably the coolest feeling. Insight: Bitcoin short-term holders have flipped from losses to profits, a signal often seen near local tops, according to CryptoQuant. Interesting. Or is it CryptoQuant? ChatGPT to begin testing ads in its free and Go tiers, with ads clearly labeled and no impact on response or user privacy. Big. Donald Trump's crypto executive director says the U.S. has not sold any Bitcoin forfeited by Samurai Wallet and will add it to the U.S. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. Let's freaking go. Chainlink, Solana, and Wormhole lead the latest Solana ecosystem rankings by development activity, highlighting where builder momentum is strongest this month. According to Zach XBT, a hardware wallet social engineering scam on January 10th led to over 282 million in Bitcoin and Litecoin being stolen and swapped into Monero. That's crazy. He's alleging, too, that that's what pumped the Monero price so much, which is also pretty crazy. ARK Invest says Bitcoin's price volatility fell to record lows in 2025, strengthening the case for higher risk-adjusted returns in the years ahead. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong said live on Fox News that major banks are attempting to undermine the president's crypto agenda. He looks more and more like Lex Luthor every time they show him, man, I swear. BlackRock warns the U.S. construction boom could be slowed by a shortage of skilled workers like electricians and tradespeople needed for infrastructure and AI-linked projects. Guys, I'm thinking about becoming an electrician. Stock Money Lizards posted, and these past days, all of CryptoX has been copying this stupid chart. I really have reached an amount of pain on this app I can hardly endure. And this is an adorable chart, I will say. You got a little double top, little double bottom, and they're calling for that break and rejection. That might happen. That actually might happen. So, love it or hate it, that's definitely a possibility. Elon Musk said the U.S. government deleted a terabyte of financial data to cover their crimes. Here's the best part. They don't understand technology, so we recovered it. That's freaking awesome. We got another one of these bad boys from 3-4 days ago. Lofty. I guess technically 3 days ago. It is past midnight for me now, though. January, accumulation. February, Bitcoin rally. March, altcoin season. April, Bitcoin all-time high, 215K. That would be pretty cool. May, bull trap. June, forced liquidations. July, bear market. Bookmark this and compare it in 6 months. I like it. January, so February, March should be pretty crazy if this one's going to be real. Ash Crypto posted, what if Bitcoin's catch-up rally has just started? Wouldn't that be sick, dude? Okay, so they're showing percentages. That would be crazy. I'm just saying. What would you choose? So we did the math on this. This 20-year-old lottery winner rejected the $1 million in favor of $1,000 a week for life. I don't know if she has to pay taxes on the $1,000 a week for life, but we did the math, and I believe after taxes, it would take you about 20 years to make that $1 million back. Maybe less. Maybe that was before taxes. I don't know, but still, I think I would rather take the $1 million because of inflation. And I would be, call me a conspiracy theorist, but if the lottery has a $1,000 a week obligation for you, as long as you're alive, it is technically in their best interest to make you no longer alive. So I would not want that target on my back at all. That's great money, don't get me wrong, $4K a month. And then you can literally do whatever the hell you want, because that's guaranteed money for the rest of your life. But they're kind of banking on the idea that you're going to die before they get to that $1 million mark. So I'm just saying, I'll take the upfront costs. Thank you very much. If I blow it, I blow it. If I don't, I don't. I feel like I can take that $1 million after taxes, probably like $500K, and make it into more money. Or even just put it in a high yield savings account, live off the interest for the rest of my life. I'm just saying. Bitcoin 95,302, chilling. We have been completely flatlined this entire time. It is not moving at all whatsoever. Tech dev, a rare tech dev post from 2 days ago. We missed it because the stream got rugged yesterday. We're at the point in the business cycle where bull div reversal momentum is decidedly building, which has signaled every one of its major reversals in the last 25 years, including after 2000 and 2008. Since Bitcoin existed, those reversals have triggered its parabolic runs. You've got reversal, Bitcoin parabolic run, reversal, Bitcoin parabolic run, reversal, Bitcoin parabolic run, and reversal. Eventually, you're going to get a Bitcoin parabolic run when this actually reverses. So that's huge, incredibly exciting. Rare post from Tech Dev. Thoroughly enjoy it. Crypto Elites. Oh geez, what have I done? Oh, I thought that was read more. Bitcoin keeps moving forward without breaking its trend. The Fed has stepped back, liquidity tightened, and altcoins came under pressure. We've seen this structure before. The real question now, does the money stay in Bitcoin, or is a rotation starting? We've got Total 3 versus Bitcoin way down here. We've got Bitcoin way up here, and Federal Reserve a little boop on the monitor. Hopefully, number go up even more. Crypto Gems posted, what if alt season 3.0 2026 will be massive for altcoins? Who's ready for this? We've got a bunch of hits. upside, downside, a lot of correlation between these two trend lines. Looking good. If we get a breakout, we could see a pretty decent size growth. Bar chart posted, silver soars to new all-time high, $100 in sight, question mark. The current all-time high on silver is $93.69 cents, which is pretty awesome. Silver is down 2.49%, trading at $90.07. Chilling. Let me go back to Bitcoin. Everything else is pretty quiet. We got some outliers, but nothing crazy enough to really report on. Hondo's closest, but they got that unlock. It is a 0.15, big whoop. Bitcoin is quiet. Almost 68% of S&P 500 stocks are now trading above their 200-day moving average, equaling the strongest market breadth since 2024. That's pretty crazy. Cocoa plunges to its lowest price in almost 2 years. Chocolate lovers rejoice. Congratulations. Stock market sees highest level of greed since September. Also, congratulations. Uranium jumps to highest price since July 2024. Also, congratulations. The U.S. Treasury was scheduled to buy back $4 billion of its own debt today, but couldn't due to a technical issue. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but it says the buyback will be rescheduled. So, cool. Egg prices have now plunged 95% over the past 12 months. That was a big... I remember every time Trump was on TV, he would talk about the egg prices, so I'm happy for it. And then last but not least, we've got Kaleo. Again, same post from January 5th, our Livermore speculative chart. We'll see if this one's relevant or the ISM manufacturing PMI business cycle. I'm excited for both of them because they both seem pretty awesome. But Livermore says before the end of the year, Bitcoin should reach approximately $225,000, which I like. I like that number. So we'll see what happens. Portfolio update. The 1K to 10K Grok portfolio is down 479, 47.9%. Best performer is Solana, only down 14. Worst performer is Aptos, down 71. Next, we've got the meme coin portfolio, down 564, 56.4%. Best performer is Pepe, down 77. Worst performer is GigaChad, down 162. Then we've got the narrative portfolio, my favorite, and I believe the best performer at the moment. Might be outperformed by the Falling Knife, we'll see. This bad boy is currently only down $176, or 35.2%. Best performer is Tau, down $5 or 5%. Worst performer is VeChain, down $57 or 57%. This portfolio, in case you guys are curious, is made up of one meme coin, one artificial intelligence coin, one decentralized physical infrastructure coin, one real-world asset coin, and one gaming coin, and it is absolutely killing it. And last but not least, we've got the knife catching portfolio, which is down 392, 39.2%. So it is being outperformed by the narrative portfolio. I'm sorry. Knife catching portfolio best performer is Chainlink, which is down $10 or 10%, and the worst performer is Avalanche, which is down $61 or 61%. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin still completely flatlined, devoid of volume and fun, if we're being real. Currently trading at 95, 329 and 7 cents. We'll see if anything happens this weekend. I suppose this is where I love and leave you guys on this beautiful Friday evening. Make sure you guys get some rest. We'll see what happens tomorrow in the markets. I'm very excited, and I'm happy to have had you. As always, when Bitcoin starts to do anything crazy, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. I'm tired. Can you tell? Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Happy Friday, and good night.